paddling big whitewater, everything seems to disappear. When you're out there, you're not thinking about anything else. You're just focusing on making it downstream and having as much fun as possible. Tumwater Canyon is my favorite river in the world. It's a beautiful section of whitewater located in Washington State. In the spring, at high flows, most of the rapids are Class 5. It's really as big as it gets. I'll never forget the first time I saw people paddling the canyon. I thought, how crazy would it be to do that someday? A lot of paddling in Class 5 is about problem solving. It's not just about adrenaline, it's really about putting yourself in a difficult situation and figuring out how can I keep myself calm to get through this. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia Lycan. I lead growth on the Solana mobile team. I'm also an engineer, a founder, and an athlete. Today I'll be sharing my story with you, and I hope it serves you. When I watch this, it still gives me butterflies. Finding your flow in an unpredictable environment is an incredible thing to experience. Much like the river, the most rewarding problem I've solved this far in life is the future cost of my current decisions. Your life can change from the decisions you make. It only takes one to start gaining momentum in the direction of your dream outcomes. My entry into Web3 and the Solana ecosystem came from understanding the power and potential of blockchain technology, this incredibly welcoming community, and a limitless runway to ideate. All of this provided the motivation that I needed to take a risk on myself. After a year, ago next week, I quit my job and 100% committed to building my business. Coming from the corporate world of Nike and more recently a metaverse tech startup for Bella, I wanted to try something different. I'd learned a lot of valuable skill sets working for these large companies, but it quickly became apparent that I had a curiosity, a hunger for learning, and a desire to make a real impact, which is ultimately what landed me at the Seattle Solana Hacker House last February. One thing led to another, and shortly after this initial experience with Solana, I was learning zero-knowledge proofs from Bartaj, getting on a plane to Dubai just a few hours later to attend the Dubai Hacker House, and then I extended my trip to catch the Prague one too. Why not? By the end of those 4 weeks, I'd built out my entire 3D VR NFT project and deployed to production and mainnet. I had so much momentum, but at the same time, self-doubt had me questioning this abrupt life pivot. I doubt myself all the time. To me, if you're not doubting yourself, your goals and ambitions aren't big enough. If you're not achieving the levels of success that you would like, you have to change your self-doubt. Self-doubt tends to manifest itself from others and when we think we can't do something. When we're questioned or we compare ourselves, by our own words, telling ourselves, I can't do this or I'm not good enough. I had to fix this. At first, because it's a necessary building block to set a foundation for truly knowing myself and what motivates me. Understanding how I react, where my thoughts are, and getting back on target when I drift, this acute awareness is so relevant when the risk and costs of messing up on the river could cost you your life. When doing my best isn't quite good enough. I have to be so in tune with myself, and if it doesn't line up at that moment, I walk away, and I come back another day when I'm more ready. This fortitude and awareness as an athlete has been invaluable as an entrepreneur. When I reflect back on this time last year, two things in particular stand out to me. One, trust your gut. It's trying to tell you what you need to change things up. When you're not excited about what you're doing anymore, or you're just going through the motions and you're not really thriving, or work starts to affect your health, it's really important to take note of that. What kind of relationship do you have with yourself? The strength of your relationship with self is reflected back in your confidence. When you can understand what motivates you and have a pulse on your emotions, it hits different. Number two is the power of a friend. My circle of close friends is a huge reason why I never gave up. Eventually, you get tired, you get in your head, people let you down, and funds run out. But you consider quitting at one point or another, but then you're able to turn that challenge into an opportunity and look for ways around the problem. Thankfully, it's these relationships and the people that I choose to surround myself with that help me remind me of who I am and have helped me relearn how to think differently. It's very similar to that athlete mindset I shared with you earlier. I learned how to execute quickly, assess what the most important next step is, and do what needs to be done even if I don't feel like it, without hesitation. I was trying to think of the best advice I could come up with to leave you all with here today, and again, it touches on self-doubt. The thing is, the biggest setback many new entrepreneurs make is confusing inexperience for weakness. The truth is, learning just takes time. We want to make a big impact yesterday, and we get disappointed when we don't see results quickly. But over time, we see the greatest impact. So measure accordingly. When you hit that next level of success, you're now doing a job that you're completely unqualified for. The day you decide to be an entrepreneur or found a company, you commit to lifelong personal development. Whenever you think you're done learning, your business will continue to test you. When this happens, remember, happiness is a choice and not a circumstance. Every day, consciously choose that joy because your business will always make you feel like you don't have enough. I can assure you, no object, goal, person, or anything will ever make you feel happy unless you choose that. I felt like I failed at initially what I set out to do in the beginning. I didn't achieve the goals that I'd set for myself, and the timeline got pushed out. I parted ways with a co-founder that was a friend. That was really hard. And I turned down a launch with Randy Zuckerberg. I've learned I'm fully capable of bringing a project to market at the right time. I don't need to doubt myself, but what I do need to do is give what I prioritize my very best, and the rest will follow. What I can tell you is I truly do believe it was a blessing that things landed the way they have, because it's all led me to where I am now, and it's so much better than I could have ever anticipated. Had I not worked so hard, put on all that time learning to build on Solana, invested in myself so much, I wouldn't be who I am today. I can honestly tell you it changed my life. I'm thankful for the skills, relationships, and ultimately am far more equipped with the experiences that I had to succeed than I ever could have been initially. I've been able to pivot my business and reorient myself in a new direction that truly allows me to thrive. I think failure's tough when you're ambitious and you have high expectations for yourself. But as on the river, navigating tumultuous rapids, counting waves because you can't see your next move when you're in the trough. You have to react quickly. The same goes for entrepreneurship and all the curveballs. Failure's been the key ingredient in my success, whether it was in sport or in life. Had I not known failure, I would have continued to accept good enough and never taken a chance on myself. Instead, I'm confident, determined, motivated, and ready to learn and approach this world with curiosity. When you spend a lot of time with yourself, you have to be really intentional with the words that you tell yourself. They hold power, and they will either tear you down or build you up. You learn not to allow the fear of failing once keep you from trying again, because fear is a reaction and courage is a choice. You're making choices, and over time, those choices gain momentum. Standing here, I can tell you that my conviction that allows me to thrive, not just survive. I believe in myself. I wasn't always that way. When you paddle a company or you're getting ready to lead a company with that kind of conviction and you begin to make choices in your life, anything is possible. I know what it's like to have a vision and work really hard, to have no other option than to figure things out quickly, because as all of us here with entrepreneurial experience know, you have to close that gap between ideation and execution quickly when you have limited resources. You have to get aggressive, and your response is what dictates the outcome of that situation and ultimately your success. We're all motivated and inspired by different things here, but what makes it so special is that for whatever reason, on this weekend here in Lisbon, we're linked together and unified by this one thing that is Solana, and that's pretty special. With a strong grounding in my purpose, I can suffer through anything. The mental exercises I do when I'm on the water as an entrepreneur to navigate challenging decisions helps me understand that purpose. We all have different reasons for being here, like I said, and while paddling Tumwater Canyon at high water may or may not be your journey, I think we can all benefit by stepping out of what's comfortable and taking on new challenges. By changing up our environment and revisiting our commitment, like the river, puts things in perspective. It shows me in a very clear way who I am. It can be really hard, but when you weather the storm, your perspective shifts. Whatever's going on in your head, your body will follow. Being a champion comes from hard work. It's not about standing on a podium, accepting a trophy, or even the recognition. It's about the way you carry yourself every second of every day. So own it and lead by example. Thank you.